Hey there VC, Mark here. I'm going to do a vinyl update video, which I haven't done for a while. What's playing in the background, something I've been waiting for the last week and a half, I guess closer to a week. Just came today, and it's Rush, Moon Over Cleveland. I first saw this on Dwayne's video a couple weeks ago, and it was one of his grails, and he was so excited to get it. As soon as I saw him show this, I had to get it too. I had to track it down. I went on to eBay, and there was two bidding wars going on for two copies I had on there, and the wars were up over $60. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to pay $60 for that. That's you know, or get into a bidding war with anybody. So I punched up other sources on the internet, and I finally found a online record store in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, called True North Records, and he has even more than one copy of this in his store, and only $30. So this one here, as you can see, it's got the blue kind of splashed vinyl on the one record. The other record is kind of like a red with a little bit of a black fleck going through it. So it's very, very cool, and as Lazarus or Dwayne pointed out in his video, it is the exact same show as this album, Rush, the First American Broadcast. With the exception of the last two tracks. There's two extra tracks on the Moon Over Cleveland album that aren't on the Rush ABC album. And those two tracks are Bastille Day and Hey Cookie. Now, if you don't recognize the name Hey Cookie, what it actually is the song In the Mood. And when he's singing this on stage, he sings, instead of singing Hey Baby, the hour is late, he sings Hey Cookie, the hour is late. So I'm trying to figure out why he sang Hey Cookie, and I was punching up on the internet and trying to get some kind of explanation for that. And the best explanation I got, nobody really knows for sure, was that back in the 40s, they used to, you know, a girl, or you wouldn't call a girl or a chick, it would be Cookie. And Glenn Miller had a song called In the Mood that was done in the 40s. And so that's the closest explanation as to why Geddy sings, that I could find anyway, why he sings Hey Cookie. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but it is a very good track that's not on the ABC album, and it's got an excellent drum solo in the middle of it as well. The sound quality on that track isn't that great. Most of this album, it sounds fantastic. Just as good as ABC. I can't even tell the difference in the sound quality. So if you've you know, been trying to hunt this record down, and you can't, you know, I know it's pretty bought up everywhere now, and trying to find a copy is very, very difficult. This is a great substitute if you can come across a copy of this. And like I said, True North Records has it in stock. At least when I checked yesterday. And not just in this color, he's got 3 or 4 different color combinations of the vinyl. So anybody who's looking for this, punch him up. It's $30 plus shipping for this record. So awesome find, and thank you, Dwayne, for pointing this out to everybody. I was really happy to see this, and I'm really happy to get it. Awesome record. Next up, of course, Dereck 2. I've been really getting into this as well, and it's really nice that there's some vocals on here. There was some vocals on the last track of Dereck 3, but there's lots of vocals on here, and you know, Dereck's a pretty good singer. I was really impressed at his singing ability, and I love the acoustic sound that he gets from his guitar on this. It's just a great sound. It's a very relaxing record, much like Dereck 3, and you know, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And of course, I ordered right away when he posted his first video that it was going to be available. Of course, I got an orange vinyl copy because on Dereck 3 I missed out on the colored vinyl. I waited right till the very end, which I shouldn't have done. And I'm happy with the black vinyl, it's fine too, but it would have been nice to have the red. So that's Dereck 2. I gotta thank you too to somebody in the vinyl community in Mississauga. That would be, I guess I'm just a Spud Boy or Otavio. he sent me something in the mail a while back, not a while back, but a month back, I guess. I had done a video on a Canadian rock group, Max Webster, and I held up a copy of this record and was talking about it, and he sent me a message saying, well, did your copy come with the Max Webster sticker? I guess in earlier issues there was a sticker that was included with it, and it was basically a picture of this picture that's on the gas can here on the back of the group. He said, no, I've never seen that before. So he says it's yours. So I'm thinking to myself, well, he's going to send me a cool sticker. But what I didn't realize was that, yeah, I got the sticker. It's great, really cool, quite rare, I guess, too. But he sent me the whole album as well, and the album's in mint condition. And not only is the album in mint condition, but it's also signed by Kim Mitchell. Not just once, but it's signed on the album. Kim Mitchell signed the sticker, and also the plain paper inner sleeve. So Octavio, I can't thank you enough. You know, it's just an awesome gesture. I really, really appreciate it. And I know how much of a Max Webster fan you are too. They were just a great band, and I'm really, really happy to receive this. So thanks again. I really appreciate it. Okay, some more of my vinyl finds, or not necessarily finds or purchases, finds and purchases, I guess. A couple of thrift store purchases. They're $2 each. Here's the first one. It's Yes Shows, which is Yes's second live album after Yes Songs, and this is a 2-record set. It's in really good condition. To be honest, I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Cover's in awesome shape. It's supposed to vinyl, so for $2 couldn't go wrong. I'm really glad to find that. And kind of a surprise too. I was really hesitant to buy this record because after his original band broke up, I'm not sure when they broke up, in the early 80s, I guess, he released a studio album, his first solo album. I didn't like it at all. It was called Dream of the Blue Turtles by Sting. I had Dream of the Blue Turtles, so I don't have it anymore. Like I said, I may have played it once, or I don't even know if I got through the entire album. I just didn't care for it. But I took this one, I took a chance on it. Sting, Nothing Like the Sun. It's a 2-album set, and it is just loaded with great material. Songs that they played on the radio a lot, not necessarily the best songs, were the Be Still My Beating Heart and We'll Be Together, which are good songs, but they're not the best songs on the record. Well, Englishman in New York too is another one that he released as a single. But the musicianship and just everything on this record is just a very musical, very great listen. So I was really, really surprised, pleasantly surprised giving this a listen. So I recommend this to anybody who was a Police fan. Like I said, Dream of the Blue Turtles turned me right off of Sting, and that's probably why I never pursued any of this stuff further. But after listening to this, I think I've become a fan again. So, good album. I've always been a fan of this group's earlier stuff, as the Sweet. The earlier stuff might be considered more pop-ish or bubblegum-ish. For example, Ballroom Blitz, Little Willie, songs like that. This one was released in 1977, level-headed, and it's more of a mature sound of the band, and it really is a good record. All the songs on here, you know, there's quite a variety of different styles of music in here. There's ballads, there's some hard rock. If you want to know the hit off this, it was Love Is Like Oxygen, which was one of my favorite Sweet songs. And very, very cool record. Also, I'd like to point out that for the cassette community, great picture here. Basically, you got your cassette heads and whatever you call these pieces here that turn the tape. So it's really cool looking cover of a close-up of a cassette player. Actually, it opens right up. There we go. Very cool picture. Cool picture of the band as well. Recently picked up this at our local record store in town, or in the next town, Cochrane and Red Rider, and it's basically all their hits, or they're not necessarily hits, but they're better songs. For example, Napoleon Sheds His Skin, White Hot, Bird on a Wire, Lunatic Fringe, which is probably what he's most known for, but it's all recorded with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra, and I tell you, it's just a fantastic sounding record, and with the orchestra it adds kind of a new dimension to his music. Really getting into this stuff. This album I got in the mail last week, and it's really kind of funny because the day I received it, I was on Facebook, in the Facebook vinyl community, and I tell you, you get addicted to that thing. And I gotta pull myself away a lot of the times. But that day, I saw a post, Dereck was actually playing this record, and I thought, holy cow, I just got it in the mail today. And it's Blue Cheer, Vincebus Eruptum. And I actually heard about this album from Ottavio in Mississauga, Ontario. He was rating this album very high, so I had to get it and see for myself. And he's absolutely right. It is fantastic. If on most albums, distortion and feedback are not wanted in most music, but in this music, it's what makes the music, really. It's just such a different kind of an album where the instruments and just the electronics behind it are just at capacity, and you get that distortion and feedback, which really adds to this record. It's quite very much rock, kind of in the blues vein, but very, very much like this record, and I played it now a couple times. It's just too bad it's not a very long album. It doesn't have, it's only like 16 or 17 minutes each side, but great stuff. There's not too many rock bands today that are out today that I really care for, but I am kind of attracted to this band here, and this is my first album by the Black Keys. The album is Brothers, and it's actually Rob Elovax who kind of suggested maybe I might give them a spin, and I'm really glad he did suggest that to me, because I know he got a package deal on Pop Market, 3 or 4 albums. I didn't get such a good deal, but I got a decent price for this record, and I like this as well. As the music on it is very good. It's just, I've heard some reviews about it saying that it's probably their least rockin' album that they have out. It's more laid back. Not knowing their other albums, to me it sounds great. Like to me it's a rock album to me, but I guess they must really rock on the other albums. But very much like it, and thanks Rob for the recommendation. Picked this one up recently too. Slowly getting into Iggy Pop. I never was really an Iggy Pop fan, but I'm finding myself being drawn to his music more and more. And this one's Iggy Pop and James Williamson, Kill City. And this one's kind of cool too. It's on white vinyl. Picked that up at my local record store a couple weeks ago, and really getting into this as well. Next up, next pickup is one by REM, Green. Never been a huge REM fan in the past, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons a little bit, so I picked this up. Haven't played it all the way through yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So that's REM. Next up, Status Quo Live. Status Quo is a band that really never got the popularity in North America that they should have got. Much more popular out in the eastern part of the world, and the UK and England. And this album just kicks butt. It's just a really good rockin' record. This particular cover too, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, was only issued in Canada. The more traditional cover that people recognize is quite a bit different than this one, and but I think I prefer this one better. It's very psychedelic with the orange and the red and all that. Very cool. It's a nice gatefold record, 2-record set. And what I also kind of admire about this is that there's absolutely no overdubs. There's no touch-ups. This album, what you hear is exactly what you would have heard if you were in the audience back in 1977 when this was recorded. So, fantastic record. And lastly, I'm going to show you some Neil Young albums that I've been really getting into Neil Young. And I got a long ways to go before I even get close to his catalog. Like Tony Mr. Farboy, he has the most amazing collection of Neil Young that I've ever seen. And I'll never get to that point, that's for sure. But I had to fill in some of the important gaps. One of them is, I was looking for this for quite a while, is On the Beach. And I see why it's such a heralded album. Like I know Tony loves this record. And it's really a great record to listen to. I really like the bluesiness of it. The title track, for example, On the Beach. And also the last tune on the track, Ambulance Blues. After a couple of listens, those are the 2 tracks that stand out most in my mind. So I'm really happy to get this. What's also cool about it is that I guess they all came with the printed, you can't see, but in there, but it's got the printed inside cover, which kind of matches the pattern on this umbrella. Also, this is a Japanese press as well. The cover is a little, I would call it very good plus. The vinyl's mint though, so I'm really happy with the condition of the vinyl. It sounds fantastic, so extremely happy to finally get this, and at a pretty good price too. The last thing I'm going to talk about very quickly is I got 4 albums here by Neil Young, and they're all the NYAPS, or Neil Young Archives Performance Series. And these are all live albums. They were probably never recorded to become records. They were probably recorded for posterity or whatever. And they decided to take them out of the archives and get them and put them on vinyl. And you know, it's just a fantastic thing that they did, because these records all sound phenomenal. They all have a little blurb inside, like a newspaper clipping, picture. The newspaper clipping is generally, it talks about you know, what was kind of happening at the time. You know, maybe a review of the actual show. It's kind of cool, liner notes. And this one is live at the Fillmore East, which was recorded in 1970. And that one's a single album. Massey Hall in Toronto, 1971. And this is a double album, and it's got loads of his early hits on here. And early, not necessarily hits, but his early works is really good. Really, it's got loads of his early stuff on here. Really, really good. Neil Young, Dreamin' Man Live, '92. And what this album is actually a live acoustic version of his album Harvest Moon, which I'd love to get, but very hard to find on vinyl. When you do find it, you're going to be paying a fortune for it. So this is kind of a good substitute, for the time being anyway. The songs aren't in the same order as on the Harvest Moon album, but regardless, the performances on here are fantastic. It's a great record. And my newest one is Neil Young and International Harvester, A Treasure. And this one is was recorded shortly after he recorded the country album Old Ways. And this album too, in a lot of respects, is very country. It's got professional country musicians who play on this as well, and you know, if you're a hardcore Neil Young fan, you may not care for this record very much, but to be perfectly honest, out of the four, I like this one the most. I think the sound quality is actually the best on this one as well. But the musicianship on this is just absolutely fantastic. It's quite a good record, and it's a 2-record set. Actually, it's a 1.5 record set. Because the fourth side doesn't have any music on it, but it does have this cool etching on it. So that's my new Neil Young, and that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.